And a million faces formed together, made for elevation. And the soldier won't surrender. Faith is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you're crying from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Sleeping and the shadows could be making history. Through the fire, on the water, used to be a slave, but now you are a conqueror.
They can take my heart, they can take my breath when they're crying from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk with Joe Vollano. I'm glad every one of you is here tonight. We are in for a great show tonight. But before we get started, obviously, we have a lot of new people I see already jumping on here. I see we have a very busy activity going on the page tonight. So let's jump right into business because we do have a lot to talk about tonight. As always, I am your host, Joe Vollano. I am your host, your guiding light through all the craziness that's going on in the world today. Yes, I did go have my nails done today. See, look at that. They're all nice and pretty today. So, but we're more than just pretty faces around here, you know. We do have a lot to go on up here, and we have a lot of work to do. So let's jump onto it. Again, this show always works best when you are involved. So if you want to jump on, you always feel free to call in 203-679-9610. Or, of course, you can always email us, straighttalkjv@gmail.com. And, of course, if you're on LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, we're on everything now. So you can jump in on the message board if you're a part of any of those platforms. And I see the platform is up and running. And you guys are already talking away over there. New Jack, this is courtesy of, well, not courtesy of, I paid some good money for it, of Romani's, which is always my favorite store. One of my favorite ones in not only in the city, in the state, but in the entire country. It is one of my favorite suit stores. And I go to a lot of suit stores. And when I traveled back with AT&T days, I used to stop in a lot of them. Romani's is still probably my favorite. So Sanjay over there does an amazing job. So if you've never been over to Romani's in the Meriden Mall, I suggest you take a stop in there. He always makes you look good when you're coming out, even though I always look good. But that's beyond the point. So let's jump on into it. We got a lot to talk about. And I want to talk about, first of all, I'm very excited to see that the St. Patty's Day Parade is coming back. So this is first thing on the stack of stuff here. So it looks like thanks to Secretary of Education, Mr. Cardona, he was able to put together quite a few people in to get the St. Patrick's Day Parade going. And the St. Patrick's Day Parade will launch on this Saturday, March 26th at 10 a.m. It will begin at the corner of East Main and Parker Ave. That's where the Stop and Shop is. Also, you'll be blocking my street off, but that's okay. But that will take place. So if you want to join in, I'm sorry, I should actually put this into a title screen on the bottom. If you want to be part of it, if you're a part of any club in the city, I don't know if they're doing businesses or not. I mean, Filler Up would love to bring a truck and put it in there. I'll have to give them a call. You can contact Mr. Finley at 203-804-6895 or Jim Finley, JIMFINLEY 1955 at att.net. And you can get your club involved in that. So again, kudos to Mr. Cardona. Listen, he's always been a huge supporter of the city. Obviously, he comes from the city. Yes, Filler Up would absolutely love to be in the parading, and we would pass out free candy. It'd be a great time for us. So we will try to do that if possible. But I will contact him this week. So, but again, so this Saturday, March 26th at 10 a.m. Listen, everybody's complaining that they don't have things to do or they want things to do. Here it is. This is the first thing. First thing to come back to what normalcy is. And we're talking about the Daffodil Festival coming up at the end of next month and what they're looking to do over there. So we will definitely try to get involved in this, and I'm hoping that city residents come out and support it. And there's a lot of people that have put a lot of money behind this, especially, with doing donations. Remember, this is all done by donations. So, come out, enjoy the day. Hopefully it's a beautiful day out. I don't know what the weather is going to be for next Saturday, but hopefully it is a nice sunny day. And I hope a lot of people come out because it is always a good time. And hopefully that, again, if you're part of an organization in the city, whether you're a dance club, karate, whether you're any kind of nonprofit, listen, get out there and get yourself visible. That's the only way you're going to get new people in. So, again, make sure you please go ahead and do that. Again, that is this Saturday coming up. And it is, again, I'll post the number and the email for Jim so you guys can contact them. But definitely the Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, they should all be doing it. All the different packs that are around in the city. I think we have 2 in the city. So I think they should be doing it as well. So moving on to more, I want to say more serious issues. We're going to get into the city has hired a project manager to work on the American Rescue Plan Committee, which I think is an absolutely phenomenal idea. So they are not the only city doing this. There have been multiple towns and cities around the state that have hired the same advising firm. It is called UHY Advisors, and they are an international accounting firm. And they do, again, they make sure that we're in compliance with everything that is going on with the ARP funds, ARPA funds. I don't know why I keep screwing that up every time I say it. ARPA funds. So they are the ones that, yeah, Paul, so you stay away from them. Paul, you are not allowed to go to Romani's. You go somewhere else. If anyone doesn't know, that's my brother, and he ended up we ended up at a wedding with the same suit on, and I was not happy about it. So stay away from them. So, but as far as the firm that's going to be doing this is great on a couple different reasons. One is it's money well spent, because one, what they're supposed to be doing is making sure that every dollar that is going out to all these committees, and all these organizations, that they're spending the money properly. They're spending that money properly, which, again, when we talk about Gallery 93, when we talk about these different organizations that are getting all this money, we're going to talk about the Daffodil Festival, because I think the Daffodil Festival, I don't think they're going to like what they need to do to get this money. And for years, we've been talking about, transparency. And listen, for me, transparency is everything. A government being transparent is the most important thing to really a thriving society, because you're not going to get people to believe in what you're doing or accept what you're doing if you're not transparent about it. So I think, again, this is a phenomenal move and they don't even report to the city. This consulting group reports directly to the steering committee. So that is phenomenal to me. So there's going to be no bureaucracies going on. This is a direct between the committee and the third party accounting firm, which I think is important to understand. So again, and their job is simply to make sure that the money that's being given out, that it is being used properly and for the appropriate reasons. Because remember, there are a lot of restrictions on how this money is to be spent. And again, we found out with West Haven what happens when there is no oversight, there is no accountability, and there is no real determination on how the money was to be spent. So I think this is a great step. Kudos to the city for making this happen. Like I said, there is many other things that they do. They also do outreach, which I'm a little surprised on, because the city councilwoman Cortez really pushed on what they were going to do to get the word out into the streets, into the grassroots, as she called it. I wouldn't think that would be their job. I don't think it's something that should be their job. If you want to get into the grassroots, you as a representative of the city and the people should be the ones doing that. I don't think we should be paying an outside group to do grassroots canvassing, if be it, of groups and organizations. Because they simply said, well, we could set up an we could set up a website for you or a web portal, but they don't know, that's not what she wants. She wanted something a little bit more in depth. Now listen, the committee never had this under control. There is no way this committee, let me rephrase that. This committee is good at what they're doing, and that is analyzing applications that they come in and making sure that they are doing the proper research and taking the proper steps to make sure that the money is being spent in the correct way. Now, do I agree with a lot of what they've approved? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we do need to make sure that when that money is allocated to those groups, that money is being spent properly. That is the key goal here. The goal is not for them to determine whether or not certain organizations should get the money. That's not their goal. Their goal is to make sure that money is being spent the way it's supposed to be. And that is simply by auditing these organizations. These organizations, once you receive government money, you are now they are now owners in your organization. Make no doubt about it. Same thing with if you own a business, whether it was the PPP loan or it was your SBA small business loans. Once you take money from the government, they own you. They own you because you make sure you have to file all financials to make sure that money is being spent the way it's supposed to be. Nothing comes free. And just because you received it doesn't mean you can spend it in other ways. That's why I like the fact that we hired this firm, is that they will make sure that we don't turn into West Haven. That's their goal. So we don't see people being dragged off in handcuffs. That's basically the goal. So, listen, I'm all for this group. I think it's great. I think they're going to do a tremendous job. Like I said, I mean, the scope of their responsibilities shouldn't be for outreach. That's not their job. I don't believe that should be their job. That's the city's job. That's your council people's job. That's your economic development's job. That's your city manager's job, is to do outreach. That's not what this group should be used for. This group is strictly for numbers, making sure the numbers are correct and that everybody's using money in the proper way. And to flag any company or organization that is not doing so. And that keeps the city out of hot water. That really is their ultimate goal, is to keep the city out of trouble. So, but like I said, with that, obviously comes the latest approvals or the latest people to put in for applications for ARAP money. And that is the Daffodil Festival. And for those who know me, for God, I don't remember how many years going back, I have been all over the Daffodil Festival to open up their books, because it is the one organization in this city that gets a crap load of money from the city every year that we never get to understand where that money is being used for. And they would love to sit there and say, well, it's for fire departments, for police, it's for security, it's for this, it's for that. Show us the books. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the books. We're going to see the books because they're going to be required to, because the organizers have requested $284,300 to cover a 1/3 cost of the festival. And they say the festival costs $852,900 every year to actually throw. So, if they're asking for $284,000, you know what I say? Give it to them. Because then they're going to be subject to these rules from the independent auditor. they're going to have to open up their books. They will be forced to open their books. How many books? Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question. But they'll be forced to open them. Where did you spend this money? I think this is a phenomenal. And again, I think this is listen, I definitely didn't think they thought of this. Because like I said, this was like pulling teeth to get anything out of these people for decades. For decades. And I do like this one part. So if you're an organization that normally participates in the Daffodil Festival as a nonprofit, normally every year you're giving up 15% of your profits to the Daffodil Festival Committee. Well, that is being zeroed this year. So the only expense for any nonprofit. So if you were planning on skipping it this year, don't get your groups together and get there, because they're only charging the participation fee of $100. Only the participation fee of $100 is all they're charging the nonprofits. The 15% sharing of profits is gone this year. So please, if you're a nonprofit and you are thinking about skipping it this year because it's such short notice, do not do that. Do not do that. Make sure your organization is participating in the Daffodil Festival this year. And that's scheduled between April 30th and the 1st. So 3 days. So let's do this. Let's have a great Daffodil Festival. Listen, we've missed 3 years? 2 years? Don't miss it this year. There are going to be a ton of people. Again, everyone who wants to be out of their house and doing things around the city and supporting nonprofits and supporting our social groups around the city, this is your perfect opportunity to do that. Now, I know as far as Straight Talk, we are going to be trying to get to the Daffodil Festival, because not only that, I want to do a couple shows from there. So I want to make sure that we have the opportunity to do that. I know Filler Up will be there. Filler Up will be buying a spot at the Daffodil Festival, so I know we will be there for that. So I plan on being there for multiple reasons. So again, if you own a business in the city, it's a great place to advertise. It's a great place to advertise. So no, you didn't miss the announcement yet. We'll do that at the end of the show. We got a ton of stuff to talk about, and then we'll get into all the fun stuff. But again, the Daffodil Festival this year is April 30th through the 1st. So make sure that you're getting out there as a public and enjoying yourself, but also as a nonprofit. Again, that 15%. And listen, sometimes we were talking thousands of dollars that you would lose on that 15% share of profits over the weekend, especially if you had a great weekend. It's unbelievable. So now to be able to keep all that money for yourself and only charge the $100 participation. Now I'm hoping they'll do this. Scratch the tickets. Let everybody pay cash. If they're not taking a share of the profits, there's no reason for ticket sales. They should simply just let cash flow. You've got your $100. We already gave you that check. Let's just do cash. Let's make it a cash only event, or credit card stew if you want. Because a lot of these organizations could use Square or PayPal, all those kind of good ones. So again, I think there's so many opportunities for organizations to make some money this year. Do not miss out on it. Like I said, that we plan on being there. I know Filler Up plans on being there. And Straight Talk with Joe Vollano is going to be there. So, and it's going to be a great time. So again, that is April 30th through the 1st. Make sure you are there. And again, I think for the Daffodil Daffodil organization, I think we will do a great time. I forgot my water today. I went to go grab my water, and I realized it's not here. So I apologize. I'll try not to cough too much throughout the show. Now, I saw an interesting article in the paper. Maybe it wasn't today. It was, I think it was sometime last week. And I see that up in Hartford, call upstairs. Yeah, I don't know if they're listening or not. But if they're listening, maybe one of them will bring me down some water or whatever. We'll see. But I was reading this maybe like 3 or 4 days ago that Ned Lamont was entertaining the idea of pausing the 25 cents a gallon retail tax on gas. Now, listen, I understand that most people look at the 25 cent gas tax and they get in an uproar. That's not. I don't think most people realize that's not even the worst tax on gas at all. Because I don't know if anyone realizes that there is a hidden tax on your gasoline. There's a hidden tax called the gross receipts tax. And the government, especially the state of Connecticut, loves to see high gas prices because they make 8.8 cents on every gallon of gasoline before they even add their taxes on. Before the federal taxes, before the state tax. Come on in. Oh, I think somebody brought me water. Did they? Ah, look at that. Lifesaver. Lifesaver. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Who says there's not lifesavers around here? There are. Oh, I needed that. So, yeah, so let's say right now a gallon of gasoline is $3. They now make almost 27 cents a gallon. So they're doubling. They're literally doubling the gas tax. That is normally 25 cents. They're adding another 27 cents on it. So, listen, so while Ned Lamont sits there and says, I'm all for pausing it, if it was up to me, I'd keep the 25 cents, and this is what I would do, since we're going to be talking state politics here. What I would do, and here would be my first plan. One, again, because I'm all for transparency, and I don't like hidden taxes. I would take the 25 cents gas tax, and I would raise it to 30 cents. Now, before everyone yells at me, I would take the 25 cent gas tax, and I would raise it to 30 cents. And I would eliminate the 8.8% gross receipts tax. That's what I would do. And that's what I will look to do in the future. Because the state robs every citizen when it comes to gas taxes. Every single citizen gets robbed when it comes to gas taxes. There was at one point, you were paying more in taxes than you were for getting an actual gallon of gasoline. If you just looked at it from 2 years ago. It is absolutely crazy. You pay, on average, about 75 cents a gallon. Not yet, no. They are not capped at, I believe it's at $4 they're capped at. And if anyone doesn't realize who pushed for that, that was our former state senator, Len Suzio. Len Suzio was the one that pushed for the cap. And I believe it was at 4 something that it was capped at. But it should go away. It should literally go away. Hidden taxes should never be in for anything. And like I said, I'm all for moving the 25 cents to 30 cents and calling it a day. They'll never, ever get rid of the gas tax. They could put tolls in and you would still never lose the gas tax. Ever. Ever. It makes too much money. But here's the problem. See, that money is supposed to go into the special transportation fund. But the problem is they keep raiding that special transportation fund and putting it into the general fund to do other things. The amount of money that the state gets from gas taxes is ridiculous. And in another show, in fact, in shows to come up, we will go through all this. We will go through all this. We're going to break it down. We're going to break it down by a lot of different things. We as a society need to make sure that we hold our elected officials accountable. They're a tax for tank replacements. I'm not familiar with that. That is something I'm not familiar with. That's normally gas stations. But yeah, listen, they love sucking money out of the special transportation fund. But, again, these are the things that the public need to know. This is what they need to know. So we'll find out. And it's 8.8% now. Trust me, I know because I pay it every single time. I pay it every day. And it's something that you guys never see because I get charged it down at the terminal. Every time I pull gas, it is not assessed on diesel at all. So, again, but these are the type of things that people need to know. And those are the things we're going to look at. Because this is only this is only a scratching on the surface on the things that are going on. And things that you need to be made aware of. Because right now, gas prices are way too damn high. And the thing is, and I'll be the first to say it, there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. There's no reason for there to be this high of gas prices. And that's just looking from a person looking from the inside out. There is nothing other than speculative stuff. There is absolutely no reason for the gas prices to be this high. There's no reason for a barrel of oil to be this high. But speculators on Wall Street have deemed that we're going to be in tough times in the next 90 days. And that's basically what it is. It's the forecast for the future, for the next 90 days. That's what basically oil prices are set on. And therefore, that's what your gas is set on. But as of right now, we don't have a shortage or anything. So there's no reason for prices to be this high. But here we are. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And I will blame on both sides. I will blame the government and I will blame corporations also. So there's plenty of blame on both sides. I mean, I wish I was seeing that kind of money coming out of it. That would have been absolutely terrific. But we as sellers, retail sellers, we don't get to see that. But yeah, we never went over $5 on heating oil. There was no reason for it. We're a little bit higher now than most people on heating oil, and that's simply because we've transitioned from heating oil into our gas for our boating season. Really, if you want to call it something, we have two seasons over here at Fill Her Up. We have our heating oil season, and then we have our boating season, where we do a lot of marinas. So that's where we do. We spend most of our time, especially now going into March. We don't do very much oil anymore, but we do a lot of gas and diesel. It's been pretty steady. It's been a little steady. Listen, I could sit here and we could talk inside, outside of oil pricing and gas pricing all day long. The last 3 weeks have been an absolute craze because you've been seeing price fluctuations for a gallon of gas or heating oil that's ranging anywhere from 10 cents a day up to 80 cents per day that you're seeing these big giant swings. I know some of you are here in the oil business. Look, test to it. I mean, we've seen them go up 20 cents at 8 a.m. and then go up another 20 cents at 10:30, up another 15 cents at 1 o'clock. And we sitting there trying to set prices, and we can't, it's difficult for us to set prices. I mean, we buy I mean, for myself, I buy tens of thousands of gallons at a time, so I try to hit it on the low end when I feel it's the low end to try to stabilize prices, because that's what it's all about right now. If you're in the business of oil or gas, your only job right now is to try to get a stable price and try not to get caught on the up swing of pricing. Our goal is to get it on the downswing and try to get it at the rock bottom before it takes that turn. And luckily for Filler Up, I mean, we've been excellent at doing it. So we haven't had any issues this year, which is phenomenal. And I hope other companies are doing the same. I wish I had 100,000 gallon storage tank to store it sometimes, because I buy a lot more at certain times, but that is just not the case. So, I know some people been telling me over the last couple of weeks they've been pissed at their oil company. They've been charging, again, over $5 a gallon, which I think is grossly overpriced. I don't think we ever got over $4.89. I believe was our highest price for this year. I could be wrong. It could have been a little bit higher, a couple cents, but I don't believe we were over $4.89. And that was basically for our Colchester area where, we do a lot of business out there, and it's obviously travel time. Not only are, again, this not to get too deep into it. Remember, when prices go up, one, we as suppliers have to float that money for anything after 10 days that customers don't pay us, and then on top of it, our fuel costs for those trucks are going through the roof, and then on top of it, if you pay by credit card, the higher the amount, the more fees we get charged. So there's a lot of ins and outs. So don't get too mad at your oil company. Obviously, if they went over $5, you can get mad at them. I don't care. But don't get too mad at them. They're doing the best they can. I know there's a lot of little companies out there that we're trying to do. We're trying to get by. And I applaud them for doing what they need to do. And I've read a lot of the online comments from some of these other oil companies about, they're doing pricing for half a day. Here's our pricing for half a day. Here's our pricing for just a day for the amount of the amount of oil that we have on our truck right now. This is what we paid for. This is the price we guarantee for this day. So, again, it comes down to a lot of different things. So don't give your oil companies too much of a hard time on it. And hopefully we'll see gas prices kind of level off. Obviously, come June and July, as always, you're going to see prices start going up because you're going to see a lot more people traveling. And that's just supply and demand, but you're going to see it go up. I anticipate on the water this year for any of you boaters. I'm sorry. I definitely see us at $6 a gallon, maybe, or even $6.50. That's where I see it going to for the on water for all you boaters out there. Listen, I do, and for all those people that sit there and say don't blame politicians, you do blame politicians. The United States of America has 20% of all oil in the country, and if we start knocking down our production, that's a big hit. And now you have Russia, who has 15 to 18% of the world's population of oil. Now you start knocking that down, of course prices are going to go up. No, the less fishing is not an answer to that. That's never going to happen. There's never going to be less fishing. So, listen, policy. When I watched the State of the Union address, all I was looking for is any kind of hint that you're going to help lower oil prices. You didn't even have to mean it. All you had to do was say it, and it would have lowered oil prices. So while no one person has control over an oil price, the American president and his administration, when it comes to policy, has a huge factor on oil pricing. And that's just a fact. When the American president and the executive administration says that they're going to knock off oil, no permits, no Keystone Pipeline, yeah, that's going to knock our prices. That's just common sense. It's just common sense. Now, will I put full blame to him? No, I won't give him full blame. So, because again, a lot of other parts go into that also. And I'm glad you find this fair, because we always try to be fair. Listen, I always try to do best on behalf of the customer. If you benefit, I benefit. We're all happy. Like I said, for me, heating oil is not, it's something that I got into because it was wintertime, and it's something that, it gives us something to do during the winter. I try to keep my prices down low to be fair and competitive with everybody else. Usually we're the lowest around most of the time. Like I said, when it gets to the end of the season, we're usually the highest around because, again, we don't want to do too much oil at the time. But we always try to be fair and consistent with our customers. And when I try to help out those that are less fortunate. We do, I obviously do give discounts and free oil to a lot of different organizations and people that may be down on their luck. And that, again, that's something I feel I have to do as a corporation myself and as a human being myself. I am compassionate to those who are down on their luck. And I think a lot of businesses hopefully are the same way. I do what I can to help out those. My mother will contest to that. She loves giving my oil away. I'm sure she'll mention it on there. But again, that's what we're here for. I am here to help the community, because I think that as a business here in the community, it is important for me to support the community, and we do that an awful lot in this city and in other towns that actually show us a lot of support. So we did do a division sponsorship for the Meriden Little League, because I think that's important. We talked about them here as they're having a hostile takeover from the Board of Ed of their fields. And we'll get into that again in the next couple of weeks again, because there's some stuff coming up on that I want to talk about, that we will talk about in the next couple of weeks. But, it's a great organization. It's a great organization. They're going to be back at it this year. And again, they need the support from businesses and local organizations. So Filler Up was very proud to be able to sponsor a division of the Meriden Little League. So hopefully we look forward to going and watching a couple of those games. And I can't wait to see those little Rugrats out there in Filler Up t-shirts. I think that's going to be absolutely phenomenal and probably be my favorite part of the whole thing. So, again, kudos to everybody over at the Meriden Little League. They do an amazing job over there. I know the people are great. So hopefully they have a tremendous year, and I look forward to seeing it. Okay, so we got 20 minutes left. Let's get into some fun stuff. So, of course, I said I have a huge announcement tonight. And, again, this is something I've been contemplating. I think I started saying... we started talking about this maybe like a month and a half ago, that we have a race coming up in the 83rd. And I think it's extremely important. And I had already known Kathy Abercrombie was not going to run. And I think I said that maybe like 3-4 months ago, that she was not going to run. And I am still under the belief, even though I have been told multiple times that a certain individual is not going to run. He gets mad when I say it. So, Kevin, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I know you don't like it when I say it, but I still believe that Kevin Scarpati is going to run for state rep. I'm going to stick to my prediction because, again, I haven't been wrong yet. And I don't think I'm wrong still. Now, again, some people that have told me that he's not running, they're pretty close friends of mine. And again, they usually don't give me false information. But I just can't see this happening any other way. I think if Kevin doesn't run, I honestly don't think they stand a chance of holding the seat, especially since I've been digging into some more numbers over there in Cheshire. Now, if anyone does not know, the 83rd used to consist of Meriden and Berlin. With redistricting, they have taken a piece of Berlin away and a piece of Meriden away and given us part of Cheshire. So, after I was going through all the analysis, I was like, there is no way in hell that a Democrat wins this seat unless it's Kevin Scarpati. And I think Democrats know that. And honestly, I think he knows that. Now, what I would like to see, I want to see the best person run. Again, and I do have the redistricting maps. In fact, we showed them last week or a couple weeks ago. If you want to see the redistricting, not to cut off what I was going to say, you could go to the CGA.Connecticut, CGA.ct.gov. Here, I'll put it right here. CGA.ct.gov. And you can see, that all the maps there for you. I just posted it to every one of the forums, the redistricting maps. And listen, he may say he's not a Democrat, but listen, at the end of the day, he will run to a party that he believes he could win on. And anyone knows, especially in the city of Meriden, that a D after your name means a lot. It means a lot. Now, again, in my personal experience, just from years of going through this stuff, I don't see Democrats winning this district without Kevin. That's my personal opinion. It's also it's always been my personal opinion that Kevin will run, even though I have been told multiple times that he's not, and that's fine. If he decides not to run, and he has other obligations that he wants to do, totally respect that. Totally respect that. Again, and I have no ill feeling towards Kevin Scarpati. Don't get me wrong. So I think he's a good guy. Campaign manager. No, so Kevin. I just told you Kevin won't run. But again, I do believe that the right person and the best person should run and represent the election, the committee, the electorate, and the citizens of the 83rd. I believe that truly. Now, I'm sure there's probably going to be. I'm gonna make another prediction here. That I believe there will be at least 3 or 4 candidates on the Republican side to run for the 83rd. So I think there is going to be a primary this year. I know Lou Arata has already announced he's running. I believe there is going to be one from what I've been hearing. And again, I've been all over Cheshire now. And I've been talking to a lot of people from Cheshire. I have a lot of customers that live in the new area of Cheshire. And I think there is going to be a candidate that may come out of Cheshire from what I'm hearing. And there may be one from Berlin. Meriden used to have a strong lock on the 83rd from a delegate's perspective. So, back in the day, we had seven Meriden people and 2 or 3 Berlin people that were delegates that kind of put who's going to run for the seat. That's not the case this year. This year is pretty split. It's 3 for Meriden, 3 for Berlin, 2 for Cheshire. So for Cheshire or Berlin to team up and try to bring somebody in isn't out of the realm of possibility. So it's going to be a very, very interesting election. But listen, like I said, if I knew there was someone there that was going to be do a better job than I would, or that I believe would do a better job than I would never run. And I've done that in other campaigns throughout my time. But I believe that right now we need somebody that is strong-willed, that is not afraid to sit there and speak their mind and can garner support from both sides. That's the goal. And I think I've proven over the last 8 years that I can do that. I do garner a lot of Democrat support because I still believe here in this city, not even Berlin and Cheshire, that most Democrats in this city are not like the far left liberals in the national politics. They're just not. Or even up at the state for the people that live in New Haven, Bridgeport. So you guys, oh my God, you guys so antsy for what's going on here. So that's why I am going to announce tonight that I am running for the 83rd. So I am going to be running for state rep. So for the 83rd district, I will put in my paperwork sometime this week. I did spit it out. There you go. You got it. So that is my goal. We are looking forward to building a great coalition of not only Republicans, but of independents and Democrats. That's what we're going to do. That's what we've always done. We have been the closest. My campaign, when I ran, maybe 2015 I ran. We came the closest to taking out Abercrombie than anybody ever has. We came within 150 votes. And on top of it, if anyone remembers that year, the SEC was up our ass every moment of the way. They were so scared of us. Democrats were so scared of us. Oh, there's definitely got to be a straight talk, of course. They were so scared of us. They had the SEC actually looking at $5 donations done. $5 donations. They were questioning them. And we still came with 150 votes of taking her out. Oh, I'll be knocking on your door, Sue, along with my Democrat for Vollano signs. So I'm excited about it. Listen, I talked to a lot of people about it. I've talked to a lot of friends. I talked to a lot of family. Listen, this is no easy task. This is absolutely no easy task. Anyone who's run it understands this is no easy task. It takes a lot of dedication. Now, me, I'm privileged enough that I have a thriving business that pretty much runs itself at this moment. Obviously, I do a lot of the work, but we'll be bringing a lot of people on. It'll free up a lot of my time. Sue already knew, yeah. Of course you already knew. So I am excited about it. I get nervous about it every time. And listen, even though running is not, I love door knocking. I love meeting the people. And that's what it's all about. So I am excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. Because like I said, it's going to take everybody's help to make sure we get over the path, over the hump here. Make sure we do everything we can. Again, and I say it all the time. I say it all the time. We have to get out there and do it ourselves. We have to join together and go do it ourselves. I am no different than anybody else. I am not afraid to go out there and hit the pavement. I would never ask someone else to do something I wouldn't be willing to do myself. And that's what I will be doing. Obviously, we have a convention coming up in May. So we'll determine whether or not we get the nomination for the Republican side, or do we have to sit there and get signatures for a primary. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Right now, the first step is just obviously announcing that we are, that my campaign will launch this week. And I have a great staff that's sitting behind me. And I think a lot of the faces, as we get into it, will be very familiar to you. A lot of them will be the same from the previous time we ran back in 2015. But we're going to do the best we can to make sure we do right on behalf of the citizens of the 83rd. So that is my big announcement for today. So I was not wearing sandals today. I can't wait to wear sandals though. Well, thank you, Kim. I'm glad we have your support even from Florida. So, but again, we have a lot of work to do. This is only the first step. Obviously, Straight Talk with Joe Vollano is still going to be broadcast every Sunday, 7 o'clock. Nothing changes. What we'll probably do in the coming weeks, once I get everything up and running and set up, we definitely will do a couple more shows during the week as things come up and as topics come up. I expect my email to start blowing up again with topics. If you have something you want to talk about, we should go ahead. Go ahead and send it to my email. Did you tell Kevin? I did not tell Kevin, but Kevin, I'm sure, is listening. So Kevin does listen because he gets awfully mad when I talk about him. So, but he'll get over it, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him in the near future. If he doesn't, then good for him. If he wants to be mayor for the rest of his life, kudos to him. So, but I can't wait to see. There's gonna be none from my side. Listen, again. Most people get into when there's primaries and campaigns and stuff like that. Listen, I don't get into all the mudslinging. I don't really care about that. That doesn't get us anywhere. And I think that's one of the biggest things about politics in general that most people don't like. And it's something I just don't like. There's no thing in mudslinging because it serves no purpose. It doesn't further the conversation on anything. Listen, I don't have any ill feeling against anybody, whether it's the primary and Lou. Lou, I'm going to actually, probably next week, I'll have Lou on the show. I'll have Lou on the show because I believe he has the right, just as I do, to make sure that that he does that. I think if Kevin doesn't run and if they run Morgan, I think he gets killed. I think he gets killed in it. Okay, it'd be crazy. So, but again, whether I'm going to have Lou on here and we'll have conversations, which is fine. And I already talked to Lou a couple weeks ago about it. I hadn't made up my mind at the time, but I don't have any ill feeling towards Mr. Arata. I think he's a great guy. I just think that I'm a better choice. So, I mean, that might sound conceited or not, but I just think that is the truth. I just think we have a better shot, and I think my team has a much better opportunity to take the seat than his does. So, but again, I'll let him make his case in the coming weeks if he chooses to come on. Again, we'll be very respectful, and I can't wait to see him come on. So we'll see what happens. But as far as Kevin, if Kevin decides he wants to run, Kevin could also come on the show and speak his mind and speak whatever he wants. Ken Morgan also. Ken Morgan is more than welcome on this show, and I'll give him ample time to sit there and say whatever he wants. Because I believe, again, as we talked about when we first started this show, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You still have a right to your opinion, and that opinion should be heard. Especially if you're in positions of power or will be in a position of power. I believe you do have an obligation to talk to the people. And everybody is given that opportunity here. So, we'll see what happens. No, I'll be running as a Republican. I'm a Republican now. I'll be continuing to be a Republican, and I will run on the Republican. Because that's what I am. I am a Republican. I am a conservative. So, we'll see what happens. So it's going to be an interesting time. We'll see where this all plays out. We'll see what happens. So I look forward to it. And listen, again, why is Scott? He said he was leaving the Republican Party. Listen, there was many things that we were going to do here that we're going to be independent, and we're still going to maintain that independence as far as what we say here. We're not going to again bow down to anybody to saying that we can or cannot say whatever we want. There are going to be times that Republicans screw up, and they will continue to be called out here on this show. That will never change. But again, as far as running for office, I will run as a Republican since that's what I am. And I am a conservative, and I believe that most conservatives believe the way I do. So, and that has been a proven fact over the years, and not over the years, but probably over the last decade and a half. So, and I look forward to keeping that going. So, like I said, we do not, because we are so independent on our side, or at least through my eyes, which is the reason why we've actually courted so many Democrats and independents over to vote for us, which is why, again, we have been the closest to ever take over the 83rd. So, and we only came within 150 votes. So again, I believe we are the best choice to win that seat. So, but other people may think differently. Scott, you may be one of them, and you're more than welcome to entitled to that opinion. And we will have that debate. Well, me and Lou will have those debates as we go along in the next couple of weeks. And we will sit there and say, see who else decides to join in. So we will see what happens, and we'll take it step by step. But that is the big announcement. So I will be running for the 83rd as on the Republican ticket, and we will go from there. So, guys, any questions or anything, always feel free to keep it in our email, straighttalkjv@gmail.com. You're always more than welcome to leave it there, or you could just obviously just leave it here in the comment section. I actually, at the end of the show, do go back and read them because there are not, I don't have time to sit there and keep scrolling through all of them, and you guys sometimes type faster than I can read. So if you have any comments, obviously just leave them in there, and I will get to them later, and I obviously will respond appropriately as needed. So that is the news. That is where we're going moving forward. So again, I thank everybody for joining us tonight. Obviously, it's a great show, and I look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. But as always, take care of each other. I love each and every one of you. So I love you. God bless you. And obviously, God bless this amazing country of ours. It is, again, the last beacon of freedom on earth. I love you. Good night. And we will see each other next week. Good night.
And a million faces for together made for elevation. And my soldier won't surrender. Faith is like a fire that never bursts to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Sleeping and the shadows could be making history. Through the fire, on the water, used to be a slave, but now you are a conqueror.
They can take my heart, they can take my breath when they pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. We're rising up, rising up, we're rising up, rising up, we're rising up. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance. You can't resist.